Today we have another very special episode. I love him, you love him, we all love him. AliEldrazi. He is back again. It's going to be the second appearance that he's had, and of course we had him come in for the jankiest deck that we've had so far, Ruinous Ultimatum. Super fun deck. I think it has a ton of potential. It just needs some more tweaking, so I knew I had to get Ollie in on it, get his feedback, and really get it going. So let's see how he does.
I approve. At least Leyline works with Karuga, so it's not like it's not really a dead draw. Well, it's not dead in your hand because Karuga can at least replace it. I go first. Deal. Merfolk. Mother of God. Dude, Karuga's gonna draw like 1,000 cards if the game goes long. Alright, one more creature. Play one more creature. Play one more creature! Fucking Spell Pierce. Can I have one more turn? Four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, they don't have Spell Pierce. There's no way they deal 16 to me. Fucking 2 Adepts. Peanuts. All right, 1, 2, 3. We didn't really get them though. Like they fucking cantripped these two, so, and they drew a card off Shatter the Sky. Gross. I hate this card. This card's good. Cast Ball the third next turn and pass? There's no way that's right. I just die. Oh, you were joking. Okay, I was just making sure. I was like, what? It's like, you crazy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm dead next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I go to technically go to 1. So I need to draw a Wrath, another Wrath. This is tapped. If they have a Lord, we die. Sleep isn't lethal. They need one more Lord to kill me. Which, I mean, it's not unlikely. It's not lethal. I need to draw Shatter. How many art do we have? We have what? 3 shatters? 4 shatters? Okay, so I guess go cycle this. Fuck. Nope. Just curious. Was there shatter anywhere close? No. Okay. Wait. It was. It was right there. I can't. I don't know if this is the top card or bottom 5. I don't know. I'm not sure where that was. Next card. Yeah, it makes sense. I think. I don't know where it was. A Ruinous Ultimatum would have been sweet. Any thoughts on having a single swamp and Jessica Fire's choose Kenner's ability? I wouldn't play a swamp. I'd play like a Triome though. I think playing like 2 Triomes is fine, but I wouldn't actually play an actual swamp. This looks terrifying. Whatever they're doing, this is definitely a nut draw for them. Man, lay down the void. I need you. I need you. No, not now. I need you opening hand. Come on, lay down the void. Come on, girl. This is probably ultimatum. How did my deck do? Doritos. Got super unlucky and died. I played Yaron twice. One game. You can watch if you want. We went down to 20 cards in one game. Less than 20 cards, had 4 Zenith Flares, and then draw 1. And then in game 2, we draw 2 Zenith Flares when we don't need them. It's pretty savage. Pretty savage. How much mana do they have? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have to shatter here, right? Because if they, like, I want to play Leyline and then shatter. Like, that's what I want to do. But if they play the ultimatum next turn, I just get blown out and die. That was a top 8 deck too. I mean, I don't want to blame it on the deck. I just think we got very unlucky. I can't decide between Shatter and Leyline. I think we have to Shatter because otherwise they have 7 mana next turn. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 7 mana next turn otherwise. It's a lot of mana. There's a Snick. Here's my Yaron deck. It's for best of 1. Got it. Got it. I'm just gonna set up for a Ruinous Ultimatum. Oh man. All right. I need this ley line. I need this ley line in play. I kind of wish ley line was Ashiok, or just an actual something that exiled right away. Whatever. I need to draw cards here. Four or five. They can't kill Tamiyo if I plus. The fuck? What? What does Tamiyo do? That hurts them so bad. Maybe they thought I was gonna ruin his ultimatum. Maybe they thought I was gonna ruin his ultimatum because I said I was gonna ruin his ultimatum, but then I didn't ruin his ultimatum. Instead, I played Ley on the Void. Man, Strider has learned well. This is definitely this mana base is pretty close to an Alia mana base. It's got Gift of Paradise in it. Has lanterns in it. It's pretty funny. What does that do? Whenever you gain life, put a +1 counter on this thing. As long as you have 25 or more life, it has a double strike. Okay. Okay. What does that do? Create 2 humans. Excuse me. Create 3 humans. No. Okay. Gain life. Sure. I might cycle this one. I kind of want Karuga to die. Maybe I should have shattered Karuga, actually. Now that I think about it. Okay. No, it's not Jeskai Cycle. My apologies. Apologies. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. No! Go in the graveyard! One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Something I want to shatter. Still think I want to shatter this turn and next turn combo them. Yeah, Void plus Eerie though. I'm just gonna shatter here, then combo the next turn, and then get back Karuga as well. Tamiyo puts more stuff in the graveyard.
Like the phases of the moon, like walk to the library.
I don't want to name. Cavalier, I guess. I have a bunch of everything else. Alright, Pog. What's the combo? Hold on a second, I'm about to find out.
Let me aid your research.
Oh my god. This is gonna be gross. Wait! Come on, man. Man. They weren't having it. What do you call this deck? 4-color? I don't even know. Bolithran? Thran Ultimatum. Sure. I mean, this comes into play. We just need 6 mana. This is greedy, but I mean, oh, please don't be mono red. Please don't be mono red. Alright, we're dead anyways. We were dead before we started. Of course, nuts draw too. And they're on the play. Feels bad, man. Don't have time for that. Doesn't do well versus Gruul? Of course. Doesn't do well versus any aggro deck, I imagine. Especially not when they curve out fucking Burning Tree into Runaway Steamkin. Alright, yeah, we're dead. Sailor Moon, you gotta wait until after this run to play the music. Historic needs Ghostly Prison. That'd be sweet. And this is like the nuts too. Outside of Amberclave, this is like the actual nuts. On the play. Already insane. Burning Tree. Steamkin, double stage. Yeah. Now they play their whole hand. Alright, we're dead. We are very dead. Even if we draw Shatter the Sky, they have Annex to repopulate. I can't imagine a Karuga deck is very good against the mono red deck. Unless you have like a ton of board wipes. Are there no 2-cost cards in this deck? That's what Karuga says. Karuga does not allow us to have 2 CMC. So, correct. Always enchant basics if you can. Just because of Field of Ruin. Not that thing opponent's playing Field of Ruin, but we're playing in a format where Field of It is legal. So don't want us to blow up. Compass, what is going on? Okay, what do I have? What mana do I have? Hold on a second. Alright. Non-red one. This one. So black, black, green. No, black, black, green, green, white. I don't know anymore. We have lantern, so fuck it, I guess. Mixed Lotus. Alright, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Someone's dead. What up, Ollie? How's your week been? Meh, so far. It's been alright. What's the opponent playing? I think they're going to concede after our turn. So we may never find out. It is meh. What do you want me to say? You want me to lie? Oh my god, I'm doing fantastic. You know, great day. Great day in paradise. 1, 2, 3. Life's great. Your mom's great. Everything's awesome. Still a weak eerie alt. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter, I guess. We just have. I mean, our hand is stacked. Son of Godsire. But did Godsire have a son? I'm gonna mulligan this. I don't have double white. And I don't have a lantern or a Gift of Paradise. Oh, come on, deck. I mean, I have to ship this too. Keep it, be brave. Alright, get this one. Is this control? Could be anything. Could be anything. Never mind, it's control now. So I need a gift or a lantern next turn. Please. God, Lair on the Void would be so good. Opening hand against this deck too. Omen of the P. Karuga's basically Ollie's spirit animal. When it's not used for evil. Right now it's being used for evil in standard. Being used for evil. Well, at least we got one land, I guess. I mean, it's not terrible. We got one land at least, and we've got rid of stupid. We got rid of Shatter the Skies. But we're probably going to get Elspeth here. 80 card deck, but they definitely have Elspeth Conquers Death. They always do. Wow, they don't Elspeth Conquers Death. I'm shocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm just shattering here. And regrowing Eerie Alt. Or top. Or I can Karuga. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eerie Alt isn't that great right now anyways. It's like fine. How many cards do they have in here? Just one. This draws what, 2 cards? I kind of want to bind to Fairy, or something actually pretty obnoxious. They topped, which is terrifying. And binding Yaron, I feel like if I bind Yaron and they draw any Teferi, I just lose because they have to get another Yaron trigger. I don't think I can bind Yaron. Just turn up the clock. There's the thing I have to bind. Huh. This is a dull block, right? They have to lose both their things here. And then we'll bind. Meow. See? And this is why you enchant basic lands, chat. Because of freaking Field of Ruin. You can tell I've been playing Gift of Paradise for a long time. Alright, so their plan is going to be sell the wreckage. Possibly Blast Zone. But I guess not. One, two, three, four. I draw 4 fucking cards off this. Alright, small chance they're playing Quench or what? I'm going for it. Oh, come on. Come on. You just draw that? They had to draw it, right? Like, there's no way you don't veto a binding on Teferi. Okay, so they have Teferi in their hand. Fuck. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and say add 1 Arch of Araska to this deck. Just 1. Of course, we have normal basics.
If you are going to fight, fight beside me.
Either opponent is a god or counters perfectly. They also blew up our red source, which is pretty annoying. No, you probably let that resolve. I mean, killing 4 tokens isn't that big a deal. He's selling Godsire, is true. Alright. And then now they tap out. Like, that's what's, I don't know. I hate saying Snipperinos, but like, it's just super convenient. It's always super convenient.
You are braver than you know.
The way things work out. Their counter spells work correct, though. I agree with that. We're not dead. Not a good spot, but... Ugh. I don't have the clock to kill them, unfortunately. Like if they're a little if they're at lower life, I would do it. The problem is, like, you say cast, you jokingly say cast it, but I think we actually do have to cast it. Like, otherwise I pass back, look on a blast zone, get to fairy back, get Ascanta back, flip Ascanta, and then, like, my chance of winning is actual 0. It's still going to be 0 with this, but at least I can say I cast this. We get no lands back, but I mean, I don't think we're in this game anyways. No, he gets 4 back. Am I supposed to kill Ashiok or just go face? I don't think I have a chance if I kill Ashiok. Now we have like a 1% chance, maybe. 0.1%. Wish I could blow this up. Why did the Thran fall? Because of Yawgmoth. Eventually, because Yawgmoth. me back a Fallout Thran. Yes, I'll take it. I don't know. I would definitely add an Arch to this deck, though. So, yeah. Add Arch. I'm not sure what I'd cut, but some land. Play it again. I have 2 more Deck Strider. Maybe after. I have Void Pointer's deck and someone else's deck. Yeah, Sergeant Quests are going to be turned on in 1 second. Just give me a second. Let me do this real quick. Just give me a second, y'all. Flex on command. There you go. You happy?
Sure smells good.
There's your flex. I would also play Ashiok over Land in the Void. I don't think you need Omniscience. I think it's cute with Eerie Ultimatum, but I just don't think you need it.
Kill them all.
BA? Oh! Welcome, welcome. $15 years? 15 months? 15 months is a long time, though. 15 months is a long time. I'd probably play. Honestly, I'd probably just try to fit 3 Field of Deads. Just have an alternate way to attack. Boustage is a good idea. You're right. I should play Boustage. Like, we have so many tap lands. I think, like, we don't need this many tap lands. If we could also play Rejuvenator, Gift, Ashiok. Maybe something like this. I mean, this deck could also play Golos. Just because we have Lantern. be able to follow the Thran, it works. You can follow the Thran, then Eerie Ultimatum. Field is not banned historic, no. I mean, I'll try a couple Golos. Maybe like 2. Eerie does get lands. Eerie just cares if they're a different name. Doesn't care about anything else. Honestly, though, if we go this route, the Golos route, we might want to play Circuitous route. Keep Landstorm, cut the gifts. No, maybe it's fine. 1 Golos? Sure, maybe try 1 Golos. It just sucks to play Chromatic Lantern, Gift of Paradise, like ramp spells that don't get lands. It sucks to play ramp spells that don't get lands when we're playing Feel the Dead, is the only issue here. It's the only thing. I don't know. I also feel like Binding is just worse than. I don't think Binding's good. I'll just play an Elspeth. Just get it out of there forever, and then they can't bounce this. And if they do bounce it, they just lose. I think Binding is good, but Teferi is so obnoxious. And so is other like removal. Like, well, so here's the thing: when you cast Binding, you always have to worry about your opponent banishing like the Binding, balancing the Binding, and then getting their card back. And if that card has an ATB trigger, like if it's like a Yaron, you're in so much shit. But Elspeth Conquers Death, the card's gone forever. And they can't really afford to bounce Elspeth Conquers Death. If they bounce Elspeth Conquers Death, then you can do it again. So, like, the downside to Binding is an upside to Elspeth Conquers Death. Void Points made Red Deck wins? I don't think so. But yeah, this is where I would start. Excuse me. It's also good to note that Rejuvenator does also trigger Karuga. It's always more work though. Like I think I had to play it more, but I think I'd work more on the mana base, and I'll contemplate playing actual like bland ramp.
So this is going to be the comparison of both of the decks. So I'll kind of go over the general deck tech of the initial donation deck that I gave to Ollie, and then go over his changes and see if we like them or dislike them. So the first thing we're going to go over is Karuga is our sideboard card. It's our companion. So the companion is basically our deck contains only cards that are 3 mana cost or higher. So this does have a limitation on it. It's good and bad. The fact that when he comes into the play, you get to draw a card for each permanent on the board. This is a very, very good thing later on in the game, and we'll kind of go over that later on in the deck tech. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is Gift Paradise. Gift Paradise, this is basically necessary with the amount of aggro decks that are going on in Historic. We need the health regardless of what it is. I know it's 3 mana and it's only 3 health, but it's at least 3 health. It's also a permanent for Karuga. Again, we'll go over that. Chromatic Lantern, this just helps us cast all the things that we have. Also, Gift Paradise's ramp. Chromatic Lantern helps smooth out the overall mana so that we can cast our Ruinous Ultimatums and Eerie Ultimatums later on in the game, which we'll go over as well. So, one of the big daddies that we have is going to be Leyline of the Void. So, Leyline of the Void, what it does is it allows us to destroy the stuff that they have on the board, and then instead of it going into their graveyard, it goes directly into exile. So this is good for a few reasons, especially in this deck. So if it's in our opening hand, it automatically comes into play. So it's one additional card that we don't even have to play, and it's just on the board. Again, it's another card that we can also draw from Keruga that we don't even have to pay for it to be in play, which is fantastic. The main benefit of Leyline of the Void is going to be Fall of the Thran. Fall of the Thran, when it comes into play, destroy all lands. This includes our lands. This includes the opponent's lands, obviously. So we're going to destroy all the lands, and then instead of the opponent's lands going into their graveyard, they all go into exile. So the second 2 stages of the saga, each player brings 2 lands from their graveyard into play. The opponent can't bring any lands because they don't have any lands in their graveyard. They're all in exile. So we get to bring back lands. Opponent doesn't. This is very, very good for us. So that's a huge synergy with that. That's one of the biggest things that this deck is used for. Ixalan's Binding. This is just a fantastic card. I'm a huge fan of Ixalan's Binding. A lot of people aren't, just because it's very easily bounced, especially in this current meta with Teferi, small Teferi, big Teferi, Brazen Borrower, just various things. There's a lot of enchantment hate, stuff like that. I still feel that it's very, very, very good, though. Shatter the Sky, we're running 4 of these just because we have to have board wipes. It's just a necessity. You have to have board wipes. Tamiyo. Tamiyo just feeds our graveyard for our Eerie Ultimatum, which we'll go over later. Cavalier of Thorns also fuels our graveyard, but it also helps us ramp, which is still very, very important. Fall of the Thran we kind of went over earlier. Now, Eerie Ultimatum. What Eerie Ultimatum does is return any number of permanent cards with different names from our graveyard to the battlefield. So this is fantastic when we have Tamiyo, because we can just +1 the Tamiyo. See if you can see it there. Yeah. So we can +1 the Tamiyo, name a card, flip cards into our graveyard from our library until we find that card. Well, you look at the top 4 cards. If you don't get that card, all the cards just go into the graveyard. So the best thing to do is search for an instant or sorcery that we have in the deck, usually just a Shatter the Sky or Shatter the Sky. That's usually what we'll try to look for, or one of the ultimatums being an Eerie Ultimatum or Ruinous Ultimatum. Outside of that, it'll feed all of our permanents into the graveyard, which is, again, fantastic. Exactly what we want with Eerie Ultimatum. Eerie Ultimatum, again, all permanents. So since we have one of a lot of these permanents, we have like 2 Fall of Thorns, we have a couple Gift Paradise, we have 4 Lanterns, 3 Ley Lines, a couple Ixalan's Bindings. It's easy to have 1 or 2 of them in the graveyard as we're sifting through it. So when we cast Eerie Ultimatum, we get a ton of value, just a ton of value from it. Ruinous Ultimatum, this is a board wipe. This is more than just a creature wipe, this is a board wipe. So one of the best things to do is it destroys all non-land permanents your opponents control. Everything. It doesn't exile everything unless we have Leyline of the Void out, but if they have indestructible stuff, it doesn't destroy them. So you do have to worry about that. But Ruinous Ultimatum is an amazing card. So it's fantastic when you have Leyline of the Void out. All their stuff gets exiled, especially when it's followed with Fall of the Thran, because then they have no board state, and then they have no lands to cast anything. And then, of course, Omniscience. This allows us to play anything from our hand without paying its mana cost, which is fantastic. It's just good. It's just good. As for lands, we have basically one of every land. Not one of every land, but we have one of a lot of lands. We're running also 1 Field of the Dead. This is just kind of a secondary finisher. It's a really good finisher when we're running Eerie Ultimatum, because with Tamiyo you can't actually search for lands. So it's just going to feed a ton of lands into the graveyard. And with Eerie Ultimatum, when it is looking into the graveyard, it's just selecting land, and just getting a ton of lands from it, which is fantastic, because once you get like 20 lands from your graveyard, put them into play along with Fall of the Thran, you just make sure you order the triggers so that all of your lands come into play before your Fall of the Thran, so that your Field of the Dead tokens will all be created, because they'll all be triggered based on how many lands you have on the battlefield, and then it will blow up all the lands. So you'll just have a ton of zombies, and then it will blow up all the lands, which is, again, very, very good. Again, sideboard is Karuga. When you have Omniscience out, you are then, at some point in time, able to cast Karuga, which you're bringing all permanents into play. So you should have a ton of stuff in play. You draw like 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9 cards from Karuga, and then you can play all of them because you have Omniscience. You have to worry about milling yourself out, though. So definitely make sure that you don't do that. Now, as for all these changes, he opted to go for Ashiok instead of Leyline of the Void. This was particularly for something that if we didn't get Leyline of the Void right off the bat, and they were a mill deck, like they mill themselves, they were doing some type of graveyard play, they could still have stuff in their graveyard. So we wanted something that he could actually exile everything in their graveyard that's already there. So he opted for Ashiok. I do like it, but at the same time, I don't, because you still have to cast it, and I'm not 100% sold on it. Chromatic Lantern, he left the same. He actually added Elvish Rejuvenator. Now, this I actually think is a fantastic inclusion. So any of the updates that I've done on this deck has included Elvish Rejuvenator. This is great because it's not only a blocker, but it also gets a land into the battlefield, which is fantastic. So this also helps with Field of the Dead. Gift Paradise, kept that the same. He's only running 3 though, which I don't think is correct. Still 4 Shatter the Skies, 2 Tamiyos. He took out the 2 Omniscience and added 1 Golos because he's obsessed with Golos. I think he took out the other Omniscience for one of the Elspeth Conquer's Death. And he took out one of the Eerie Ultimatums as well. So yeah, it looks like he took out some of them to add the 4 Elvish Rejuvenators. He took out one of the Eerie Ultimatums, one of the Gift Paradise, 2 Omniscience. Yeah. So he did a couple things. And then for the lands, he actually added 2 more Field of the Deads, which I do have a problem with, because when I tried playing it, I noticed that, first of all, they always come into play tapped, and they only tap for colorless. So unless you have a Chromatic Lantern on the field, they're almost useless, especially when you're trying to cast Eerie Ultimatum. That's what makes it very difficult. And since we're running so many of them, like in his deck we're running 6, but in our deck we're running 7, Field of the Dead doesn't feel good when you get it. It just doesn't feel good. If you have to cast it on curve, usually turn 5 or 6, it doesn't feel good because you can't cast it, especially if you get multiple of them. Golos, I haven't messed around with it yet. I don't know if that's a great addition or not. I wouldn't necessarily say it's good because we're using Eerie Ultimatum. What Golos does is it exiles 3 cards. It doesn't put them back in your graveyard after you can't cast them or after you can cast them. So if you get 3 different lands or something, something like that, it doesn't allow you to do it. If it's a Shatter the Sky and you're the only one with a board wipe, right, or you're the only one with a board state, there's some things you don't want to cast at that particular moment in time. It just gets exiled. So I don't necessarily agree with it, but I haven't played around with it too much to say. As for the lands, like I said, he pretty much kept it the same, except he had 3 Field of the Deads. But that's his changes. Yeah. Make sure to check out Ollie's stream. He streams 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Fantastic streamer, extremely buff, so if you like attractive guys, that's the streamer for you. He also does amazing content in other places. I believe he does a few podcasts as well. He's pretty active on Twitter. All of his links will be down below, so make sure to check him out. Yo, what up, YouTube? Yeah, we going here, Strider. Come on. You didn't really think that I was that type of person, did you? Thank you everyone so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you were even a little bit entertained by this video, please make sure to let me know down below. And if you have anything that you would like to see next, go ahead and leave that there too. And make sure to check out my live stream 5 days a week, every day except Sunday and Thursday. Stream times down below.